I want to make this video to encourage, and if you will indulge me, this video is about encouraging you to be creative, to become a creative, and do the things that you enjoy doing no matter what anybody else says. So long as you're not hurting anybody else or yourself and you're not burning into your time irresponsibly, do the things that you enjoy doing no matter what they are. And if you so choose to monetize the creations that you make, you should do that too. Why I want to encourage this is for a couple of reasons. First off, I am somebody who has suffered from financial problems in the past, and it's worth understanding that at this point in time, I have a set of skills that I can charge for. But also because when I go out of my way to create something, I do it for me. I don't do it for anybody else. When I create a piece of art, like this piece right here, I do it for me. It is meeting a specific style that I wanted it to meet, made in a free program called paint.net, which I would highly encourage you guys to check out, and made of a mock that I created as well. Entirely my design, and everything that you see here took a couple of hours because this is hand done with the exception of the character itself, which is rendered and on a handful of layers. But this is a 35 layer image. Everything else that you see here within this image, the distortion, the seaweed, the little tiny hints of coral and fish in the background and foreground, it's all done by hand. That takes time, right? And so I feel like that time has value, as anybody would. I mention this because this is something that's happened to me a few times in the past, where I've had a handful of people, often the same people, because this isn't a legitimate criticism of content that I've created. I've had a lot of people who have really loved that content that you saw a moment ago. I've had a lot of people who have complimented my work on resin casts like this one here. Are they perfect? No. Do they meet everybody's expectations? No. And the reason they don't is because they're my work. They were my commissions. They were what I wanted from that work. Is this a perfect match for Lego's color 1-to-1? No. Lego never made a dual molded dark turquoise and black Matatu, right? Of course not, because that's not what I wanted. What I wanted were these products. And that's valid. You have a right to develop your own style. If everybody else worked the same way as everybody else, things would be boring. You'd only ever go to one person to commission. It'd be the person with the cheapest prices. But the difference is when you are a creative, nothing is objective about that. Everything is art. I'm somebody who probably didn't believe that in the past, but I do believe it now. No matter what you make, no matter what I think of it, what you have created is artwork. It may not make sense to me. I may go to a museum and see a piece of modern art and go, wow, it's a neat shade of orange or something. But that's not for me. The creator decides what is and isn't art, what they're willing to share. And whether I agree doesn't matter, because it's all art at the end of the day. By it being art, it's your definition of what that is. It doesn't need to make anybody else happy. It doesn't even need to be good by anybody else's judgment but your own. As long as you enjoy what you create, as long as you like what you create, someone out there is going to enjoy it too. Maybe not for the same reasons that you enjoy it. They may not even see the same thing. They may look at it and see the curtains are blue and read into that more than just, oh, that's the shade of color I picked because my curtains were blue when I was a kid. And I was thinking, whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you created something with value and somebody out there is going to see that value. And so if you decide, you know what, this thing, I'm ready to charge for this. I'm ready to put this out there. Do it. Let no one stop you. You might not be perfect. Your style might not match everybody else's. You may think, man, I can't take photographs like that person can. Their photos always look great, but they didn't start that way. You work towards that, and you'll continue to find your style, find your voice in whatever art you choose as time goes on. That happened for me. And in many years in the past, I've talked myself out of creating because I always thought I was never good enough, because I always had this idea of what my art was supposed to be when all that it needed to be was started. And that's what you need to do. Just start. Create today. Find out your voice tomorrow. It's up to nobody to tell you if your work is good enough. All it takes is one person to see your creation and say, that's the one I want to support. That's the one, whether it be financially or just through words of encouragement. Because I want to support you. And I want to know that with this channel, if none of my other videos do anything to help you out, that this one does. That this one maybe kicks you in the ass, gives you that little kick that you need, allows you to reflect on your own criticisms, because that's one other thing that I wanted to mention too, is a lot of criticisms you might think other people have are actually criticisms you have of yourself, but you don't know it yet because you're projecting them on others. And I know this because I've done it myself. I've criticized so many aspects of myself in the past, and all it ever did was hold me back. When what I should have been doing that whole time was creating. When these thoughts that I latched onto, that I let afflict me, I attributed to other people. The only thoughts that they were the ones in my own head. I let them stop me. I let them hold me back, but they don't do that any longer. Occasionally, I'm going to fall short. Occasionally, I'm not going to be in the mood to create that day, and that's okay. You're under nobody's time frame, nobody else's rule set but yours. Create. It's all you need to do. Find your voice, and even if you don't find it today, do the thing that you love doing because you love doing it and for no other reason and for nobody else but yourself. And when you feel like you're in a position to demand price for yourself, do so and value your time. Don't say, well, I want to charge $5 because I don't think what I'm doing is worth that price or what. No, value your time. If something takes you 2 hours, charge an hourly wage and charge for that 2 hours. If something takes you 3, then just be willing to work within that. But do the things that make you happy. Don't listen to anybody else. Take criticism with a grain of salt, learn from your mistakes, learn from the criticisms you or somebody else might have, and when you think that their criticisms are against you, the person, not you, the creator, and not your creations, learn to tune that out because your creations are your own, and nobody else can take that away from you. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out. And as always, you can check out the Discord, Instagram, and Patreon, all of which are down in the description below. I really appreciate you checking this one out. And yeah, take care.